distance nerding.
Hey! Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
You can see my whole face.
I know, right? You see the entire thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Taco Tuesday. You know what that means. You are now experiencing distance nerding.
Part of the Geek Freaks Network familia.
Oh, that's right. She's about to walk into the void for her friends. It's Jen from Frey Comics.
He's gonna Rochambeau against the Empire. It's Jonas 5000.
And he's about to steal the newest TIE fighter for the rebellion. It's young Phil, and we're here together.
Together.
God, nailed it at the same time.
Nailed it for the 100 or 222nd, 21st time. Oh my gosh. We're talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on. We want to talk about it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
YouTubers, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. It really does. Listen on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review. And remember, 5 stars help so much.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Follow us on all the social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Sorry, 1 second here. Twitter, Twitch. My computer just stopped the recording for some reason. Find us on all the social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. And of course, everybody, you can email us at your favorite place, if that favorite place is distancenerding@aol.com. So do that.
I like it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the best kept secret on all of the interwebs. It's not the best kept secret, it's the worst kept secret on all the interwebs. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Download. This becomes like infinitely harder when you can't label the videos.
Okay.
It does not give you the option to label the videos. So I'm just like, okay, one of these is the right one. Which one is it? I always forget which one it is.
I totally forgot to like open a YouTube thing so that I could see what the heck was going on because of all the audio issues I had. So I'm like over here going, oh, I gotta get the YouTube thing.
Wait a minute, what's going on? So much happening here. What the heck?
And your soundboard that you spilled liquid on.
Yeah, it is particularly just not wanting to cooperate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into all of the fun. This week on deck, we've got the Geekend Update.
We have our con respondent to give us all the tea.
Okay.
That's right.
Conspondent. Correspondent, but it's conspondent.
Conspondent.
Why do I have to explain these things to you guys? Why?
Condespondent.
It's not.
Oh my gosh. Word. You know what? Forget it. Let's just move on.
Bad jokes. All right. Starting rumors.
We got friends and enemies and even some frenemies this week.
Oh, yeah. And of course, rounding it all out, it is The Download.
We journey from the past to the future and back to the past and then to the future and spend some time in a galaxy far, far, but also close, but also far away.
Like, it just started, like, seriously downpouring here. So if I have to, like, leave suddenly, it's because we're getting ready to have a tornado. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that must be tough. It was also tough earlier because it was 78 degrees here. So I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. It was 78 degrees here.
It's a cloud blocking the sun.
Yeah, but before we jump into all of the fun stuff, of course, ladies and gentlemen, but first, let me get a shout out. Shout out to Dubby. If my mouse is in the right place.
B.
W is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus concentration reaction time with no jitters or crash. W contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Ladies and gentlemen, find out more about W at www.w.gg. Use the code NERDING10. Get 10% off your order. Deliciousness in all of the fun ways. And you got to go and get it right now, guys. Head over to w.gg. Use that code, nerding10. You get 10% off. They've got all the new flavors. They got a ramen flavor that they just came out with. I'm kind of excited to try that.
Wait,
one.
what is that flavor again? What is it?
It's like Japanese soda.
Oh, okay, cool. I love Japanese soda. Like the thing with the marble and then it goes down. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
just
love
came out,
that.
they just came out with a ramen flavor. So I'm like, I cannot wait to try this.
I can't, I mean, I don't drink soda anymore, but I would do that. I love that stuff.
Are you
Anywho.
remixing your soundboard right now?
Hey, did you guys know that distance nerding is part of the Geek Freaks network?
That's right.
Yeah, so Geek Freaks, they're about connecting, informing, entertaining fellow geeks and nerds around the globe, creating a space where fans can explore their favorite fandoms, discover new ones, and engage in meaningful discussions. It's like a match made in heaven, peeps. Why did I say peeps? I don't like that. Let's just forget I said peeps.
Check out the other shows: Geek Freaks Podcast, Challenge Accepted, Outlast Podcast, Fandom Portals, Who's Got Next Game, Disney Moms Gone Wrong, Geek Freaks Interviews, Headlines, Anime Plus, and of course, Distance Nerding.
That's right. Whether you're into the latest blockbuster films, classic video games, or niche comic book series, the Geek Freaks Network's got you covered. Find out more at https:// I just wanted to do that. Find out more about at gfpods.com. And you can check all those things out. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move into this next part because it is time for the reporting. It's time for the Geek End Update. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so much happened over the course of this weekend, and we've got so much coming in the upcoming weekend. So here to talk about SAC ToyCon that happened just over the weekend here. I'm trying to like gear myself up for everything we got on here. So ToyCon, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, representing the DeLong family cosplay group of amazingness. It's Sandra DeLong, and of course, Jeff is there too.
Hi, everybody.
The original plan was Sandra and Jeff's here too, so it's like, and Jeff.
And Bruce is asleep, so it's perfect.
No, he's in the shower.
Too much
Awesome.
information.
Like, this is where the child should be. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this weekend here. Actually, hold on, sorry. I took that off the screen like I didn't have a video for you here. So there we go. So we're just going to go ahead and talk here, guys. Sandra, tell us about kind of how SAC ToyCon went for you guys, how everything was over the course of the weekend.
It was really good. I was literally there from opening to close because I was there representing also SAC Geeks. So it was a lot of fun, as you can see there. And I got a bunch of toys and stuff for myself. I had awesome conversation with John Morrison during some downtime. We were talking a lot about the Queen.
The Queen.
Queen Elizabeth.
I was going to say Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. He felt so like relieved that he could talk to somebody about her and all of like, you know, the controversy and stuff that's going on with the royal family, because he says he can't talk about it with his mom because she's half British and she's just like, don't even go there. So he was just, it felt good to him have someone to chit chat with about it.
Are you talking about the cancer? Are you talking about the scandals? Are you like
everything?
There's so much going on with the royal family.
Anything and everything. He just wanted someone to just talk to about it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Hey, good for you being a comforting ear to
Yeah.
an Anglophile.
And obviously,
And we've heard that term.
Anglophile, it just means someone who likes, who loves English things.
Yeah.
Anybody who loves white people.
well, I mean,
You know, there are other people in Britain that aren't white. There's
true.
it's a very multicultural. Can you hear my dog? Like,
Yes,
sounds
we can.
like she's dying.
Definitely.
She's just scratching herself, and I'm getting ready to murder her.
Okay.
She might be the murderer.
SacToyCon. Tell us about SacToyCon.
It had a lot of toys, and I bought half of them.
That's a lot of toys. You did buy a lot of like Power Ranger toys over the course of the weekend. I know that.
Yes, I did, and you'll see them in the dance party too. And obviously, our good friend Van from Kyber Cave was there. He was always fun to hang out with and talk to. And towards the end of the day, or not the end of the towards the end on Sunday, I was chit-chatting with Deborah Phillips, who was the Yellow Power Ranger in Time Force.
Awesome.
And she's really nice, and I think she's interested on appearing on the show eventually.
Actually, so I've been having a conversation with her over the course of today, and we are looking at booking a show in August.
Awesome.
So
thanks,
we'll have a
Sandra, for talking us up and
Yeah.
and making this happen. Is what Phil was trying to say.
Yeah.
And then he was going to say, "Yeah, no, I've been talking to her. We're going to make this happen."
Well, that's what I was acknowledging, was that she hooked us up, and that we actually have already started talks here. So, so tell us a little bit about Sac Geeks, given that you are a board member along with James here. Tell us about Sac Geeks, and specifically, what is the big day of giving?
Oh, shouldn't James do that?
No, James isn't going to do that.
You were at the show.
Oh, fine then. The big day of giving is basically a big fundraiser for nonprofit organizations in Sacramento. So on May 1st, we want everyone to donate as much as they possibly can to help support us and promote the geek culture.
Mm-hmm. And people already started, right? There were some donations this weekend?
Yeah, there was. I can't remember, but there was quite a few. There's quite a few donations.
And it's the big day, but if it needs to be a little day of giving, we'll take that too. So whatever you can donate to Sac Geeks, feel free to do that. I think we have a couple links too. So bigdayofgiving.org/organization/Sac Geeks, or just go to sacgeeks.org. I know we have a link right there. I think it's in the upper right for Big Day of Giving. So
I did put it in the thread.
And while you're there, also subscribe to the newsletter for Sac Geeks too.
There you go. But it's
that
nice
way you'll never miss.
I'm just turning that off. It gets worse and worse every week. I'm turning it off. All right. And it was funny because I was listening to music earlier on it, and I was like, okay, this seems fine. And then all of a sudden we go live, and it's like, nope, I'm gonna go random on you. Like, you suck. So along about that, we've already covered it. Never mind. Well, what's the next show you guys got going on? What is the next big show you guys are going to be appearing at?
The next big one,
or just the next show in general?
Oh, okay. Show.
This weekend we're going to be bouncing around to a couple of different spots for Comic Book Day / May 4th. And then the weekend after that, we're heading down south to
OmegaCon in Madeira. That's hosted by Pete Salazar, who puts on the Weekend Blender.
It's actually being hosted by Distance Nerding, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. You didn't give me the 411 on that, and I just saw you last night.
I know. No, we are going to be hosting that show. So we've been having conversations with Pete about that. So we will be down there at OmegaCon, hosting the stage at least.
Okay. Well, you didn't tell us that at the council meeting last night. We needed to know that.
Okay. Well, real quick here, do you guys have any plugs you wanna throw away before we move into the next segment here?
Yes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are still trying to get that 100 subscribers to raffle off the 3D printed a D&D Warhammer with a set of dice.
Awesome. So guys,
Awesome.
do that, and then also 5:30 on Wednesdays on their YouTube channel. Go and hang out with them. You can check out all of their cosplay, building repairs, all the things that they do on there. A whole bunch of fun, guys. So DeLongs, we will see you guys in a little bit at the dance party here. Go as always. We appreciate you guys coming on and corresponding with and telling us about the cons on the weekend.
Of course, that's what we did.
All right. We'll see you guys.
And we love you for it.
Absolutely do.
Love you, Frey.
She loves you. She doesn't give two shits about us, but it's fine.
Where's the lie?
Girls gotta stick together.
That's right. Girl gang. All right. We'll see you in a little bit. Jesus. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next big show we've got going on also on May 10th, Lodi Comic-Con at the Lodi Grape Festival grounds. That will be Saturday, May 10th of 2025. So guys, be there or be square. Apparently we're going to be square because we're probably going to be over at a MegaCon. But still, whole bunch of fun, guys. We'll see that there. The next big show we're going to be doing, Gem State Comic-Con, is upon us. That's right. Gem State Comic-Con, May 17th and 18th in Boise, Idaho, featuring Ray Park, Bonnie Wright, Scott Patterson, and, of course, Sean Gunn and friends of the show, Brian O'Halloran and Marion Gigliotti from Clerks. So much more, so much going on. 2-day event. It's going to be a whole crap ton of fun, guys. If you're interested in getting tickets, head over to gemstatecomiccon.com. Get your tickets now. And it's 100% worth it. We will be there hosting the show and having a whole bunch of fun. So that is it as far as the Geekend update. You guys got anything to add here?
No,
I really want to go, but I can't.
I know.
I'm so sad.
And now Jen's not going to be there, so we're all going to be sad and crying.
Did you hear that? That was thunder. That was thunder. I'm just telling you,
Well,
I am doing this, and there is thunder outside.
It is the Oklahoma Thunder.
You know, and the reason, because they won their first round in 4 games.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move on. Let's jump right into this. It is time to start some rumors.
You know,
Banned in Belarus.
ban Belarus, ban.
Banned in Belarus. Banned in
James
Belarus.
just sits there.
Hey.
You and I are like, wow. And
James is just like, I don't care about fun. Fuck fun.
So pulling the curtain back, we all talked about getting the show on the right track and not derailing.
We're derailing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this. We've got a whole bunch of rumors to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, starting off, but where are the Avengers? But what are the Avengers? I can't do the Russian accent. I'm just
Oh, you want me to do it? Like, hold on.
go for it.
Hello, Kate Bishop. But where are the Avengers?
Oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. A new report shares details on the leaders of both the Thunderbolts and the Avengers. They claim that Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova will be leading one squad, while Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson, aka Captain America, will command the other. The rumor goes on to say Sam's group will have Shang-Chi and Ant-Man in it. Potential spoiler, by the end of Thunderbolts, asterisk, the team will undergo a rebrand as an official Avengers team, a move that would explain Yelena's leadership role heading into Doomsday. So guys, tacos on the table. Can Sam and Yelena play nice and share some spicy mac and cheese together?
I think so. My tacos are on the table. That kind of makes sense to me now. Like, I was wondering why Thunderbolts with the asterisk is coming out. What is it? Like a year before, and what is it going to mean for the Avengers? But this makes sense. This actually kind of legitimizes them as like a team.
Sorry, I just realized my name says Young Phil. Sorry.
It works.
Please
It's
keep
fine.
going, James. Are you okay?
I'm
Didn't
good.
mean to just
I'm
do
good.
that.
What do you guys think? Where are your tacos?
My tacos are absolutely on the table. I think it makes sense to give them kind of an Avengers moniker, given kind of everything with the characters that's going on and all that. It kind of makes sense. You could go an Avengers route. You could this could lead into Dark Avengers if you really go into that, given some of the nature of some of the characters. But I do feel like that could be something you kind of have like, and it kind of expands the story when you have two Avengers groups that are kind of like fighting for supremacy, fighting Doom, so I like the idea of that.
Or Doom pits them against each other somehow.
Yeah, could also be that, which I mean could also be Dark Avengers. You can have them, the Thunderbolts, essentially be working for Doctor Doom. So I mean, and that would make sense.
Interesting. All right.
Jen, where are your tacos at?
My tacos are fully on the table. They're trick tacos. Shadoo. And yeah, so that's it. They're on the table. Trick tacos. I think this is a fantastic idea. Finally, we get some Black Widow doing one team and Captain America on the other team. Let's go.
All right. Sounds good to me. I like it.
And you know what? I'm going to take the next one.
All right.
Taking a page from the Distance Nerding playbook, the Russos have kicked off production on Avengers Doomsday, but a new report claims there's a script, but they're going to keep rewriting it every day on set because it's not done. Like, it's not as good as they would want it to be. Also rumored are the Exiles debut, a multiversal team made up of characters plucked from alternate timelines and realities. That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It does.
Tasked with fixing hiccups across the multiverse. Could this be the Resistance team from Deadpool or Wolverine? Or what if Season 3's version of the Exiles featuring like Captain Carter, Kahori, Storm, Birdie? Given the MCU's current chaos with collapsing universes and incursions, there's a good chance this new team will be packed with familiar faces from destroyed realities. Tacos on the table. Is chaos the key to the Avengers' success?
That one's interesting.
My
tacos are on the table for like that Deadpool and Wolverine group. Like, is this how we get Gambit? In Doomsday, I could see that happening somehow.
Yeah, I think that's a good point there, Mr. Jamez. Yeah. It's because it is interesting that they've got so many universes to play with now that you could bring a whole bunch of things. We could get like a Kahori or a Storm or a Birdie.
Right.
But it could be that they picked her up along the way. You know what I mean? Like, it could start with Deadpool and Wolverine's universe, and they could start picking people up along the way, a la TVA style.
Right. I mean, it's still supposed to deal with the multiverse. So I see this, like, whether it's the characters that were in What If, or if it's just in general, they're just doing another team of Exiles.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the idea of that. So my tacos are on the table, just that we're going to get another version of the Exiles at some point.
Yeah.
So real quick though, my tacos are a combo plate of tacos because yes, my tacos are on the table for the Deadpool and Wolverine team. My tacos are off the table when it comes to Captain Carter, Kahori, Storm, and Birdie. I don't, the whole What If crew, I think they're done. I think they're over with. It was really cool to see, but they're not going to make it into live action.
Look, I want Kahori in the MCU. Don't mess with me.
We all may want Kahori, but sometimes you can't.
Can't. Oh my God. All right. You know what? I'm going to give that to you. Let's move on.
Yep.
This is me. Okay. With a rogues gallery like this, who needs a Peter Tingle? Spider-Man, brand new day, could go in any direction. Enter Daniel Reichman, a scuba who claims Marvel Studios is now casting prisoners for a brand new day. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That may not seem like a big deal for a superhero movie, but it does carry some weight considering the last time Spider-Man crossed paths with prisoners in the MCU was at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming when Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, had a tense encounter with Mac Gargan / Scorpion behind bars. Oh yeah, that's right. So tacos on the table. Is this a brand new day or just another homecoming?
I see what you did there. I think it makes sense. They just had a whole like major storyline with Matt Gargan in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So I mean, like I feel like just with the amount of kind of just exposure to Matt Gargan that we've been getting, I think it makes sense that they're gonna finally bring him in. And we're gonna get a live action Scorpion, which would be kind of cool. The question is how deep into comic book accurate Scorpion do you get? Is he just going to be a dude running around with the scorpion tail, or like kind of how deep do you get into Scorpion with this?
It's Scorpion. I thought it was Scorpio. I thought he was just a Scorpio. What the hell? I'm kidding. I knew it was Scorpion. I just thought, you know what? That would be really funny. And maybe that's what he's like, no, I'm a Scorpio. You guys have been thinking I'm a Scorpion this whole time? Like, sorry.
Got a little sneak peek inside Frey's brain there. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I could see this happening. I could see them or Sony maybe even just trying to be like, you know what, just give me little bits just so we can say we're putting together all these different movies, all these different characters. Maybe they sprinkle in some, I don't know, some of these off-brand Sony Temu Spider-Man villains, like Craven or whatever. Maybe they'll just sprinkle them into
Craven.
You mean the abs that you could grate cheese off of?
Exactly.
He's got amazing abs. He's still a pretty character. So, I mean, like,
sorry, I really just have been leaning into my whole cougarness. It's just a thing.
I see that.
Embrace the cougar.
Embrace the cougar. Jen, any thoughts on this?
You know what? I like this direction because it does tie up some of that from the first one, because we kind of never saw any of those guys again. It's like he went to Europe and then he came back and said, I don't want anybody to know who I am. And that's basically it. So we got all the other Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man's is the... Anyway. So I would love to see something like this. I think this might be a good first act villain thing that leads up to the main villain.
Gotcha. It's almost like he's working for whoever the main villain is.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, which he's kind of... I mean, that's kind of the thing Matt Gargan is. I mean, he's always been more of a henchman than a main villain, so...
but I'm like, you know how like sometimes there's that first act, like this is who he's been fighting, and then this other thing comes to like a left turn out of nowhere kind of thing that's not really the main villain. I think we're going to get that in Fantastic Four as well. So it might be a cool,
like, surprise, he's fighting Dr. Doom.
Right. It's like, hey, you thought Scorpion was cool. Look at this. So
yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next story here.
I feel like we need to answer this question though.
Which one? Will we see Night Monkey again? That's a big question. I don't think we're going to see Night Monkey. Like,
I want Night Monkey.
I don't think we're going to see him.
Okay.
The ways of the Force and looking cool doing it. Ahmed Best has been quietly rewriting his Star Wars story, this time as a Jedi. He returned to the galaxy far, far away in The Mandalorian as Jedi Master Kelleran Beq, the mysterious warrior who rescued Grogu during Order 66, and now Best is ready for more. Best told Comic Book and Star Wars Celebration, I'm always ready to put the robe back on. I know where he went in my head, so hopefully we can make the real one of these days.
That real one of these days.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then I read it. Sorry.
Say with your chest.
Hey, say it with your chest. That was just so much fun to do. I think there's a lot of Jedi stories to be told. There have been a lot of reluctant teachers as Jedi in Star Wars. When you met Yoda for the first time, he didn't want to teach Luke Skywalker. When we met Anakin for the first time, Yoda and Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi are like, don't teach this kid. Kelleran Beq wants to be a teacher. That's the calling. And even though Kelleran is one of the baddest Jedi to ever put the robes on, his passion is to raise Jedi. So I would love to see that idea that teachers are superheroes and to really talk about what that means as far as being a Jedi goes and as far as training a new Jedi training the new Jedi coming up. So tacos on the table. Will we get more Kelleran Beq in this War of the Stars?
Tacos on the table.
Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Talking about Star Wars. Okay. Sorry. Had to do a little Bill Murray there. Why do you do this to me, Phil? All right. No, I really think that this is a good idea. Here's what I want. I would love to pitch a story to Star Wars, to Lucasfilm, to Disney, whoever, and say we need a TV show called The Path. That it would be a perfect vehicle for Kelleran Beq. Have him be one of the like conclave for the Path, and we bring in what's his name, the dreadlocks guy.
Kid
What?
Fisto?
No, Kid Fisto would be cool, but no, the guy that everybody talks about, that the way. Who was it? It freaking Obi-Wan said it in the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. Starts with a V.
Killen Voss.
Yes, him. He could be there. You could have all this stuff, and you could really explore how they get the Force-sensitive kids away from the Empire.
Yeah,
and that would
took me a second. I was the way.
Well, I like the path to the way, like
right.
The path that they go to, and I think that's what something like that. It's the path. It's how they identify these kids, how they get them, that underground network. I would love something like that. Andor is doing amazing. Let's make it happen. All right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. My tacos are on the table. I think we definitely need more Kelleran Beq after seeing him in The Mandalorian. But I mean, I love this idea of doing something that is both super badass, but also just kind of honoring teachers and putting teachers on a pedestal. I feel like we need that, and especially in this day and age, we need to put teachers kind of up a little bit higher. They need to be treated with more respect than they do. So, yeah. James, any thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. And at first, I thought Ahmed Best was kind of just pumping up his own character, but really, he's right. Like, we should be honoring teachers, but he's also right. Like, every teacher in the main story has been like this reluctant teacher.
Like, Dooku didn't want to teach anyone so much. He went to the freaking dark side.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It'd be nice to have like a good, strong mentor that lasts a while. Shout out to Kanan Jarrus, but you know what I mean? Like it'd be nice for a mentor to be there for these younglings, not just striking them down. I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just striking down younglings. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to this last rumor here. Jamez, take it away, sir.
Oh, is there another rumor? Are you sure?
We got one more.
I don't think so. All right, I guess I'll take it. Hang on. There we go.
I didn't see that one. Okay.
There we go. Space BFFs fight over who gets Earth. Are we about to get a rematch? The worlds of Alien and Predator are on a crash course again, and this time it could be a lot more connected. Coming on the heels of Predator Badlands teaser trailer, which quietly confirmed that the Aliens and Predator franchises do in fact exist in the same universe, with Elle Fanning playing the twin synthetics made by Wayland Yuden. The Wayland company. An industry scooper claims, I had been told that the script for the Fede Alvarez follow-up to Aliens Romulus features a Predator. These worlds are colliding with Prey and early buzz for Alien Romulus, both signaling a serious creative comeback for their respective series. This could be the right time to finally get the Aliens versus Predator movie fans deserve. I am all for this. Tacos on the table. Are Predator and Alien the super team we need right now?
Super team? I mean, do I want to see them fighting each other? Absolutely, because that's always been the premise of Predator versus Alien versus Predator is the alien is or the xenomorphs are like the ultimate prey for the predators.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see that done justice. It's always been done in comic books and video games, but they've never really done it in a movie in a way that like does justice to the franchise. I'm waiting for that is really what I'm waiting for. And I would love to see like an actual thing where, you know, the xenomorphs are a formidable foe for the predators, and the predators don't just look like they're like caving to these monsters.
I am all for this. Tacos on the table. What was the first one? They were like in the Arctic or something like that?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be that like the predators are the ones who taught man how to make pyramids, and all the pyramids are connected because predators are the ones that taught them how to build them and all this other stuff. And they find a pyramid in the Arctic, but the pyramids were actually designed to house the alien, the xenomorphs, and the xenomorphs to get out, and the predators have to fight them. And yeah, it wasn't. It was a movie I liked, but it wasn't. The premise of it wasn't really like well done.
Aliens in the Arctic. Did we just turn into the Joe Rogan podcast? This is amazing.
No, right?
No, but I'm all for this. And to be honest, I don't need all the humans. I don't just give me some predators fighting xenomorphs, and I'll be happy.
Maybe that's why they're doing this Predator Badlands, because it's like, how can we test whether a all Predator movie will entertain people?
That's a really good point. Like, we don't need that human factor. Let's get rid of it. Let's just go predators.
Well, my tacos are on the table, and I just want to say welcome our new overlords.
Yes.
Our new xenomorph overlords.
Just want to say welcome. Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos. Our alien overlords, dude. All right. So, any other thoughts before we move on to the rest of the show here?
You guys really summed it up. So I have nothing else to add.
The only thing I have to add is your scorpion fangs are very becoming on you.
Hold on. I got to write down scorpion jokes.
Scorpios?
Just in case,
Are we talking about Scorpios?
Just in case the Overlord comes, we just got to be aware. And your fancy predator dreads are awesome.
Yeah,
and don't forget the lemon curd.
Yeah, you lost me on that one. We're dead.
No, you really did lose that one. That was a joke from Saturday. So
yeah, that was from Saturday.
And you weren't part of that, James. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the rumors. So let's move on and get into all of these, into all the news. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the download. Let's do. Oh, that wasn't on the screen? Okay, there we go. It's okay.
Oh, my God.
It's all right.
One of these days, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
News. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying we'll figure it out eventually. Actually, I'll do this so I can introduce. So for more news, trailers, reactions, guys, check out the Distance Nerdington post. Let us know what you're nerding out on, or hit us up on Instagram or on Blue Sky and let us know what you're nerding out on right now. We definitely want to talk about it. We want to bring up all these things on the show. Now, before we get into all the rest of the news, we've got a whole corner of Jen Freyness. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the casting corral with Jen, our crazy rumor lady. So, Jen, take it away.
Everyone, put on your hats and buckle your seatbelts because I have no idea where this is going to go. All right. Is anyone else hungry for some casting? I know I am.
Always hungry for some
Always.
cast.
And for this first one, I'll volunteer as tribute for this cast.
Okay.
The Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping just announced some major casting news. Jesse Plemons is going to be Plutarch Heavensby, and that was originally played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, hence the picture on the screen for those of you who are watching. Those of you who aren't watching, I guess you could Google it. Joseph Zada as Hamish Abernathy, Whitney Peake as Lenore Dove Baird, and McKenna Grace as Maisley Donner. So that's who they've announced so far. I'm not really familiar with Joseph Zada or Whitney Peake. Obviously, we all know who McKenna Grace is. So do we think the odds will be in their favor?
Potentially. Jesse Plemons, I've always felt looks exactly dead on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, he's a good pick for that. I'm not sure who Joseph Zada is.
He's really young, but he does look like a young Woody Harrelson. Like, I've seen pictures of both of them together.
I'm pulling it up right now. I got to see how much this dude. Oh, God, he does.
Mm-hmm. I really like that Jesse Plemons casting. That's perfect.
This is actually some good casting as far as looks go. Like, a lot of some of these actors do look like the people that they're portraying. So it's gonna be interesting to kind of see, how well that goes.
And I want to say, I think McKenna Grace's character, she's like a Effie type person. Like, she's from the Capitol, and she goes out to be there. Sorry, my dogs are just ridiculous tonight. And is she goes to like 13, and she's like, so her and Hamish have a lot of time together. I don't know, but that's what I think. I haven't read the book. I don't know. Anyway, James, anything to add?
Yeah, I really like the Jesse Plemons one. Like I mentioned, Joseph Zada does look like a young Woody.
Mm-hmm.
So I like.
I don't know who the other two are playing. Like, I don't have a reference to those characters, so I don't know if they're like playing anybody like young versions of people. But I don't think they are. I think they're new characters for the thing. So, all right, well, let's move on because I'm feeling Barbie. I'm feeling Barbie vibes. And I'm craving Turkish delight for some reason.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Hi, rockets in flight. Boo!
No, Turkish delight is a freaking like dessert, and it's in the very first Narnia movie with Tilda Swinton playing the same freaking character as Emma McKee, and she signed on to play the villainous White Witch. I totally ruined that. The villainous White Witch and director Greta Gerwig's upcoming take on the Chronicles of Narnia at Netflix. So remember, she's doing the last book that came out, but it's the first book chronologically.
Okay.
Like a prequel type thing?
Yeah, so she's like a young White Witch. So
I heard something different when you said that, but yeah. I got you.
So my question, does this mean Barbie is really a witch?
We knew this already. We knew Barbie's really a witch.
I mean, she's been a lot of people's voodoo dolls, so come on.
How else do you walk around with the waist that small?
I almost put on there, move over Agatha. But I didn't.
I forgot this is for Netflix. So is this going to be a series or like a series of movies? What
it's
know?
Just one from what I understand, it's just one right now. One movie.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, cool.
Took me a second. I had to get to the button.
All right. And then, we got to round it out with some video game stuff.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I just got to get up there.
Okay. Move over comic books. Video games are the new hip genre. Sydney Sweeney has signed on to star in the film adaptation of the hit video game Split Fiction. So my question is Sydney Sweeney the new ScarJo?
Gotcha. I have not played Split Fiction. I've seen videos of people playing it, and it is a odd game. I mean, part of it is also because people are living in like fictional worlds. Like the whole thing is like two people are like traveling through different fictional worlds and stuff like that. So like, the videos I've seen, I saw one where somebody they go to a level because it's a co-op game too. So they go to a level where you're turned into essentially like pigs. And through the entire fucking fever dream, it's like, oh, the pigs get slaughtered and then they get grinded up and then they turn into hot dogs. And then you are walking around as hot dogs trying to get eaten. It's such a weird game.
This game sounds delicious.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the sequel.
And that's just
bacon.
no, right. And that's just a level. So I mean, like it's such a weird kind of like game. Like just with the elements that are in it, but I mean, I'm interested in kind of seeing how you take this weird ass game and turn it into a movie. Not to say that you can't, because obviously they just turned
Minecraft
into $1 billion movie, and I mean it is meant for the market that they designed it for, because most film critics are like, this is the worst movie ever written. With kids, so that's all that matters.
I mean, if it's that, I think that might be an interesting concept though, because like think about like sliding doors, where Gwyneth Paltrow had 2 separate lives because of just like one incident or something. It could be something like that. So, and we don't know like exactly what they're going to do, but it sounds like video games, adapting video games is here to stay. So who knows? But I do have one more question for both of you, because I'm not as familiar with this as you guys are. Do we sell video games in the gift shop? Because we've got merch, people.
We got merch, people. Oh, shit. This is early again. Why do you do this to me, Jen? You do this every time. It screws me up every time. Like that was not. Like that wasn't scripted. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, move on to the rest of the news here. James, take it away, sir.
All right. F is for family read. Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics just announced that the Fantastic Four First Steps is getting a tie-in comic. Oh, this is kind of cool. This collaboration marks the first time they've teamed up like this to produce a comic that feels like it's part of the actual MCU movie universe, which is kind of interesting. I didn't realize that this is the first time that they've done that. It's kind of a no-brainer thing to connect the comics and the movies, but the comics always seem to run adjacent to the MCU stories, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They would kind of play off them, but never like fully on connect. But I guess this is the first time. While the full plot still is under wraps, the cover art may give us a clue. It shows the Fantastic Four battling one of Mole Man's classic monsters, recreating the iconic look for Marvel or for Fantastic Four #1. So whether you're a diehard Marvel Comics fan or just hyped for Marvel's take on the Fantastic Four, it's going to be a must grab when it hits the shelves. Fantastic Four First Steps will be hitting comic shops on July 2nd. Oh, that's cool.
It's not too far away.
Yeah, no. Will this bring more fans to comics, or is it just a cash grab? That's interesting. What do you guys think?
I think it's a combination of both. I mean, obviously they're trying to make money by making a tie-in comic for the movies, but I also feel like this is a way to say, hey, here's what the comic book medium looks like for people who aren't into comics, and it gives them a chance to go and say, oh, well, like maybe this is the gateway drug, right? Like maybe this is the way that's like, okay, read this comic that's based on the movies, and maybe you'll go and read these stories about the Fantastic Four dating back to the 60s, so
yeah.
I know there have been other comic book tie-ins, but most of the time it's just been like a rehash of what happened in the movie,
right?
So this being like a concurrent thing, like where it's, hey, we want you to meet the MCUs and doing it in the original medium that they came from, I think is really cool. So I do think that this is a really neat thing, and the art is Phil Noto, and I love Phil Noto's art. So I think this is going to be an amazing thing.
Yeah, it looks very almost like watercolory.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next story here. Yep.
Okay, it's me. Sorry, we were having a problem with one of the dogs, so I kept muting myself. So I was like, okay, I didn't want you guys to hear, Anyway, back in. I'm back in. Since when are we a gang? I thought we were super friends. James Gunn's Superman reboot is officially introducing a superhero team known as the Justice Gang.
Another thing that Jen called.
Yeah, I was like, they're going to be the Justice Gang. The upcoming film will feature a lineup of heroes, including Hawk Girl, who, if you were watching, she was on screen for a second. Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Metamorpho, which is it sounds like a precursor to like a Justice League International.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that lineup. No, they're not cameos in the film, though. They're part of the organized team believed to be bankrolled by Maxwell Lord, another Justice League International, or a Justice League is what they were back then, too. We don't know if Justice Gang is their official team title or it's just like what people call them in universe, like the public. But it really, I think it's going to stir up some conversation among all the fans. Like, why not Justice League? Why not Justice Society? Both of those are pretty established. So, but I do like that James is mixing it up a little. The Justice Gang, yes, you, James.
You're
the
welcome.
Justice Gang will be working alongside Superman, but they feel that he lacks experience and might be in over his head. So they kind of feel like he's the rookie, like he's the new kid in town. I think that's really compelling.
Yeah.
And I do think it's going to create some friction. So maybe even some humility and growth from Clark Kent as he figures out how to step into his own as a symbol of hope, maybe. So will Clark be open to hero criticism, or will he brush off the gang to start his own league?
I do like this because it tells me that the Justice Gang has been around longer than Superman.
Yeah.
You know how they
Yeah.
see him as like a rookie. So that means I think they're gonna be a little bit more seasoned and not be so in awe of who Superman is. Like, well, you got powers, we got powers too. You can fly, I can fly, whatever.
Right.
So I think that'll be fun. And I'm like Hawk Girl here. I'm super excited because that's Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, I know.
Dora grows up and she becomes Hawk Girl.
But
I'm
it's
into
also Dina, right, from Last of Us.
Yes, she
Yes.
is.
I adore her. I'm so, like, when I found out, like, I was like, she's gonna be the best Hawk Girl. So I was just like, yeah. But I really, being like, I'm like, I think probably the most passionate about DC of us three, and I really like where this is shaping up because I'm starting to understand why it's Guy Gardner and not Hal Jordan.
Right.
And why it's Hot Girl and why it's, like Metamorpho, and why, because these are people who are not going to be as like, oh my God, you can fly, you can do whatever, because they can too. And so it's like, okay, dude, yeah, you wear an S on your, I can absolutely hear Nathan Fillion say, oh, great, you wear an S on your chest and you think you're all that, kind of thing. Like, I could tell you stories, son, or something like. I can absolutely see that happening.
All these characters have big personalities,
mm-hmm.
and they got chips on their shoulders. Every single one of them. So
yeah.
I don't think Superman's going to intimidate them at all.
You think you're a Man of Steel? I have an nth metal mace.
Right. Yeah. It's that, you got a knife, this is a knife, kind of thing, like that kind of thing.
You call that a knife?
Right.
This is a knife.
Right.
Any other thoughts on this, guys?
No, I'm just happy Dora's in it. Hopefully Hawk Girl will have a backpack.
And I
Back,
love
back,
her.
backpack.
I love that picture that we got. I think that's an amazing picture of her, and just like how like the green in it being like such a dark color green, not like the green that in the comics. And it looks really cool. She's really fly for a bird girl.
For a bird girl? For a girl? It's really fly for a bird person.
Right.
Awesome. Who's got the next one?
I do. And going from Thanagar to a galaxy far, far away, this is the toughest tie ever. All right. Andor isn't known for its fan service, but there was recently an Easter egg that does give a nod to the past. In the season 2 premiere, Cassian Andor is sent on a mission to steal a new type of TIE fighter, one that's sleeker, faster, and more menacing than your standard issue. If it looked familiar to you, but you couldn't quite place it, the official Star Wars website states that this ship is the TIE Avenger, a model first introduced in the classic 1994 PC game Star Wars TIE Fighter. What makes this Easter egg cooler is that the TIE Avenger in Andor was a full practical set build. They built the entire ship. According to Lucasfilm, it was the rare full interior and exterior TIE Fighter set build, and its design even borrowed elements from Kylo Ren's TIE Whisper seen in The Rise of Skywalker. It's a cool callback to the small peek into Star Wars' future timeline. Have you guys played TIE Fighter, and do you think you could fly it better than Cassian? I mean, he did pretty well after episode 2.
That's true.
While we get there.
Yeah. But yeah. So I haven't ever played that game.
I did play TIE Fighter, and I recognized that ship. So I mean, like I was pretty excited when I saw it, but it is exactly how it was on this. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, I know that ship. I don't remember where it's from. And the minute I saw, oh, Star Wars TIE Fighter, that's right, it's the Avenger.
Yeah, that's
it's
like
American space.
Husby did that too, but you know what? But no, I think I don't know. I think I could fly it better than Cassian. I think it was meant for a woman to fly. You know how it is. They put the pedals closer together, so it's easier for women to do.
But do you speak Arabic so that you can read it?
Read it? I'm just gonna use the Force, baby.
There you go.
I wonder what's going to happen with this, because we've only seen one, so I guess it must be experimental still. But what happens, because we don't see this ever again, right?
I think it was the prototype. I think it's the only one.
Yeah.
So maybe they scrap the plans because
the rebellion got it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I like it though. It looks pretty cool.
I wonder if the rebellion used that in order to help facilitate, better designs on the X-wing.
Maybe.
Ooh, that's interesting. I like that. Now my brain's going. Okay, all right. But I mean, just because somebody took the one prototype doesn't mean you lose the plans for it.
Yeah, but I mean, it costs money to build them.
Though the Empire does lose a lot of plans. You know what I'm saying?
I knew this is where James was going.
Wait,
himself for a Death Star joke right now.
No, but because they did destroy the Death Star plans, right? But what if the TIE Fighter plans were stored there too?
Oh, look at you go. I like that.
I'm connecting the dots, people.
We know famously that the Empire doesn't make backups of their plans.
They refuse to use the cloud.
That's all we need. One hard drive. We're set. Okay. Speaking of TIE Fighters, from TIE Fighters to the fall of the Jedi Order in celebration of its 20th anniversary, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, was released last weekend, or re-released, I should say, And it absolutely crushed expectations. The film has become the second highest grossing re-release of all time. Whoa. In just a few days, Revenge of the Sith pulled in a whopping 25 million. Oh my gosh. In the United States, plus another 17 million internationally. What is that? 42 million? Whoa. The only re-release to ever top that is James Cameron's Titanic back in 2012, which sailed to an insane 350 million during its reissue. This victory for the Revenge of the Sith is impossible to ignore and brings the film closer to a 900 million global total. That's crazy. Does this mean Star Wars is back, or has it always been here in our hearts?
In our hearts, it's always been there. Of the
You're
prequels,
breaking my heart.
oh my god! Of the prequels, this was my favorite movie, not because of that scene, but because the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan is one of my favorite fight scenes in all of Star Wars.
Yep.
It is
I
really
agree.
good.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That's the one. I think it's Duel of the Fates. I think it's the Qui-Gon, Maul, Obi-Wan
Yeah.
fight, and then it's the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight.
Right. It's the I got cut in half in the middle of a reactor room versus I got cut in half on a lava planet.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Which
We're just cutting people in half, right?
I know, funny enough, someone over the weekend apparently found an Easter egg that was added to Oblivion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of a body on the side of of like a volcano lake, and it's like basically it's in the same position that Anakin was when he got burnt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's funny that Oblivion came out over the weekend or like last week, and somebody found this Easter egg over the weekend, and Star Wars Revenge of the Sith came out the same weekend.
We're all nerds. It's all connected. Come on, man.
Exactly.
But I love this. I think it's great. I actually, those are my first two as well, James. The Duel of the Fates and this one. And then like all the Ahsoka ones, because like she just rocks it.
Mm-hmm. And then C-3PO hitting R2 in the desert. There's that one.
Well, actually, I prefer when R2 pushes C-3PO off the
sand.
no, when it's the second one. Yeah. Not the sand barge, the second movie, where because R2 can fly.
Factory?
Yeah, at the factory, at the droid factory. He just pushes him. I love that. I just feel like that kind of violence is always necessary.
Which actually, Lego just released the sail barge again.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they
I
just
love the sail barge.
the sail barge.
So R2 started it. Okay, all right.
He did.
He started the practice of throwing droids off of things.
Yeah, exactly.
He likes to defenestrate droids.
That he's self-loathing. He just hates his own kind.
Yeah. Or he thinks he's their god. Anyway, speaking of gods, in Victorian Monster Mash news, we've got a new photo to share from Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. And it offers a look at Oscar Isaac as Dr. Victor Frankenstein, or Frankenstein, depending on which movie you're watching, who tampers with the natural order, by turning dead tissue into a new being, a monster played by Jacob Elordi. Really tall guy. The story follows Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant but egotistical scientist who brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. Frankenstein also stars Mia Goth, Christopher Waltz, Lars Mikkelsen, and Ralph Ineson. The monster will be unleashed in November of 2025.
It comes out this year. Christopher Waltz and Lars Mikkelsen are going to add so much like such a high level of gravitas to this movie.
And snark.
Yeah.
They are like both known for snark.
Yeah. So I'm excited, and then Ralph Ineson is also. I mean, because Ralph Ineson's he's got a lot going on this year because he's also playing Galactus. So
You totally ruined my joke. I was going to say he's going to put his stamp on this.
There's Galactus stamps?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
And then they go squish.
Squish!
Squish.
He's gonna be squishing everybody. Yeah. I mean, the picture looks good. Especially considering, like, if you look in the background, you can kind of see, like, almost like I'm trying to see what that is. It almost looks like the table that you would put Frankenstein on, the Frankenstein's monster on. But at the same time,
No, that's a bed.
I was gonna say, I think it's his. Never mind.
It's a bed, and there's a mirror, and then he's got the fireplace over there. I think it's his bedroom. I'm pretty sure that's just his bedroom.
The bedroom itself looks very
Victorian,
but not just Victorian.
Gothic.
Tim Burton.
Oh, okay.
Tim Burton Gothic, like not just regular Gothic. There's a style of Gothic that Tim Burton does.
Oh, like exaggerated Gothic.
Exaggerated, like disproportional. It almost feels like that.
Well, I mean, for this movie, like as Frankenstein, and it is Guillermo del Toro, so I mean, it will be warped in certain senses anyway.
Right.
But Frankenstein itself is kind of a descent into madness, like times 10. I mean, because this guy's, wants to, bring people back to life, and that's not okay. And so he kind of goes mad. So I could see it being a little warped. So I do like it, and it seemed very Victorian. And of course, Oscar Isaac's fully clothed, but he's got to have his shirt wide open.
Yeah. I kind of feel like if Mary Shelley came back for a day and saw, like, kind of this is what her creation hath wrought and how she would feel about this kind of stuff. Like, this stuff is beautiful the way that they do this.
She'd be chuffed. She'd be so chuffed. She'd just be like, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
I love you all. I'm dying of syphilis again. Goodbye.
Dying of syphilis again.
I don't think she died of syphilis, but, it's dramatic. And
she died of chuffed. Nobody gets chuffed anymore.
Yeah, no, she died of a broken heart, James.
I'm gonna chuff your heart.
You're breaking my heart. Okay. Any other thoughts here before we move on to the next?
Let's move it. Move it along. Move along.
Move along.
I like to move it. Move it.
No, James is doing this.
Move along. Move along. Move along.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, from fictional monsters to Netflix. Netflix's CEO, Ted Sarandos, said that theatrical movie-going experience is the theatrical movie-going experience is outdated. During an appearance at the Time 100 Summit, Sarandos responded to the accusation that Netflix has been a major player in the downfall of Hollywood's traditional systems. No, we're saving Hollywood. I believe it is an outdated idea for most people, not for everybody. If the communal big screen experience is losing its shine for the average viewer, Netflix is more than ready to step into the spotlight. So, is Netflix a disruptor or a savior? Whether Hollywood agrees or resists is part of the still unfolding story. Is Netflix saving Hollywood or just greedily trying to get more money?
I think it's greedy.
Well, I don't know how I think about his statement that Netflix is saving Hollywood and the movie-going experience is outdated. I kind of feel like it is a little bit, but I think it's because of the price point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm more selective because it's more expensive.
Yes. Like, I still enjoy movies. I still like going to the movies with my family and having a shared experience. but
Mhm.
it does get super pricey super fast.
Absolutely, man. I like I said, I just went to go see Sinners on Sunday, right?
Mhm.
And very expensive. And I'm holding out. I know the next movie I'm going to go see. There are movies I want to go see in theaters right now, but like the next movie I'm going to go see is Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Just mainly because I'm not going to go and spend the amount of money that they want me to spend for all of these movies, plus snacks, plus everything that you have to like do to have that experience. So it's like to me, and I know to a lot of people out there, it's not worth it to spend all that money for a lot of these movies. Sinners, I almost want to go see like 3 or 4 more times.
Yeah.
It was like that good.
Well, yeah, I hear it's amazing. Like everybody's been saying it's amazing, but
Yeah.
for the whole like Netflix of it all, I mean, I see where there's a market for not necessarily big screen or big screen theatrical releases. Like there's kind of like the little screen theatrical releases
Right.
versus TV releases, and I think Netflix is sliding into that position.
Mhm.
But I just feel like movies will be more of a selective experience going forward, since we have access to so much streaming and things like that. You can get content when you're sleeping, when you're awake, for different things. And you don't even have to subscribe to like your like traditional cable services or whatever. So I do think that they are going to probably take a bigger piece of the pie, but I don't think cinema is going away.
Yeah, and Netflix has created a model at this point where you almost feel like you're missing out if you don't have Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they are increasing their prices steadily all the time. I think like for if you want 4K and to be able to watch on like more than like 2 TVs, it's like $25 a month.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous, like I'm down to like ads, just so I can save money.
Right.
you
Well,
know?
I don't think movie going is going to go away. I think the shared experience is still there and still
Yeah.
valuable to people. So I think movies in general will stay. I think where this new streaming model hurts movie theaters is the independent movie theater industry, because not a lot of people are willing to take risks to go spend their money on a film that they just don't know that they're gonna like or gonna be a big blockbuster. So
Mm-hmm.
like those independent movies are gonna suffer. Like stuff like Sacramento that just came out. Like, is how well is that gonna do in theaters? That sort of thing. Or you know indie movie theaters themselves, like those smaller theaters, they're gonna have a lot of trouble
Yeah.
because of this new model of streaming, Netflix and all the other uh streamers out there.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
tough
definitely
one.
going to change. Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's an important conversation to have, though, too. So, oh
You know,
well.
when we did that premiere the other month or so with Geek Freaks, we went and saw Holland, which went directly to Amazon Prime, but it was still fun having that experience of going to see a movie, starring Nicole Kidman, of course, big time movie star, seeing it in a theater with other people. It was still fun seeing that, even though I could have just watched it at home. It's
Right.
still added like that value to it. So I'm digging
Yeah.
movie
So, I
theaters.
mean, things could change to that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's room for both, but I also think that cinema is going to get, like, going out to movies is going to get more selective, like for most people. And streaming the movies is going, and it's because I do know some of it's because of the pandemic, because you had to do it, and people were like, well, you know what? I kind of want to keep watching these type of movies in my home, kind of thing. And so I think there will be a switch, a pivot. And you know what? Apple TV Plus, that could be just like the perfect place for all of that, because they don't advertise for shit. So
Really don't.
whatever. It's like, Apple, come on. But I mean, their phones are $1,000, so maybe that's why they don't care.
I also think because of the whole streaming model kind of took over, and now there's so many streamers, media, especially movies, have become disposable. It's like consume it and spit it out. Like, I'm done with this. Like, I watched it. I'm not going to go back and watch it again. Whereas before, there used to be this I'm going to go enjoy a movie, and then it's going to come out on DVD, and I'm going to buy the movie, add it to my collection, put it on my shelf, and it's going to be this thing that I have that I'm going to share, and that's going to be part of me. Right now, it's just consume it, talk about it for a week, and spit it out because there's something else coming to the streamer.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I understand that part too. I do still think that there are going to be some shows that stick with you. But I do agree with you that we have so much content now that it's so hard to be like, wait, did I see that? I even asked, like, we watched the Houston Golden State game last night, and it was a good game. And so I got up this morning, and one of the first things I asked Husby was like, who won again? I can't even remember. Because it was such a close game, but I was like, I think I know who won, but who won again? And that was honestly an old school event type thing. And it's like, so I can't imagine watching so much content and not forgetting stuff. So anyway, yeah. And we've gone off on a tangent, and this had nothing to do with Phil.
I know, right?
James is smiling like he. I went off on a tangent this time.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next story here, because we did spend a little bit extra time on the Netflix thing. I mean, we tend to do that when it comes to like industry stuff. So go ahead and take it away.
Me? Oh yeah, download. Hey, hi. All right. When Luke is not enough to get the job done. Announced during Star Wars Celebration, Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter is officially taking off. Ryan Gosling is starring, and we also have some story details. During the event, Gosling hyped the film, saying, "The reality is that this script is just so good. It's such a great story with grit and original characters. It's filled with so much heart and adventure, and there's just really, it's not a more perfect filmmaker for this particular story than Sean." Levy added, "This is a standalone. It's not a prequel. It's not a sequel. It's a new adventure. It's set in a period of time that we haven't explored yet. Sorry, tried to make him different. Rumors are that the story revolves around a 15-year-old boy on a mission with his uncle, played by Ryan Gosling. They're being pursued by a duo of villains, one male, one female. The film is reportedly being developed with a significantly smaller budget than the typical Disney-era Star Wars films, and it's being described as a more contained story, something character-driven. I'm thinking like maybe a more adult version of like Skeleton Crew almost.
Yeah.
But a movie like that. And I think Sean Levy is actually pretty good to do that because of the Adam Project.
Right.
Because that didn't have a huge budget, but
he did a really good job with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Star Wars Starfighter is coming out of hyperspace on May 28th. 2027. So they do have a couple of years still. So do we need more standalone Star Wars stories, or should we go back to the Skywalker and Jedi Force wells?
No, we need more stories outside of the Skywalker saga. I'm okay with stories that live within the realm of the Skywalker kind of universe, and you can reference
Skywalker adjacent.
Right. Like, you can reference the rebellion, you can reference like Yavin and things like that, like kind of how Andor is doing, this entire sequence on this barren planet was actually on Yavin 5, which is kind of...
Wait, is that what that was? Because I was like, this kind of looks like Yavin 4.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing, is that the whole thing takes place on Yavin 4. So that was kind of like one of those Easter eggs that if you don't know, you don't know kind of thing. but the director also, like, he made a big deal of, like, he throws Easter eggs and like that. So you think it's just like this arbitrary, oh yeah, we're fighting these guys. No, they're actually in this place. They're showing the base of the rebellion before it becomes the base of the rebellion.
Yeah. I mean, and that may come back into play.
Right.
We don't know. So,
Right.
but it's definitely, I love stuff like that, like the TIE fighter being from a random video game, and then the planet that they happen to be on just happens to be really significant. So it's just, yeah, I think it's really cool. And I do think we need more standalones. I do like the adjacent stuff. I like the, let's get back into the Skywalker stuff. And I definitely want more Jedi. You know what? I just really want a lot more Star Wars. I think that's really what it is. So just give it all to me. So yeah.
Yeah. Sacramento Deadpool saying more outside stories that take place between trilogy films with new characters and a sprinkle of already known characters. Like, I like that. I like the idea of you have run-ins with like Lando Calrissian, or you have run-ins with Han Solo and Chewbacca or something like that. But they're not the focus. It's just they're
It's the Mandalorian.
Right, exactly that. Like, what they're doing is they're showing that it's still the same universe, but it's not. The focus isn't the characters we already know. The focus is stories that are within that universe. Like, I want to see more scoundrel stories, and like underworld stories that don't have anything to do with the Force whatsoever. That's what I love about Andor, is that you don't have any of these. You have this political thriller and this. I've said it multiple times on the show, how to create a rebellion, right? Like, you have this whole thing. You see the military aspect of everything. You see them, you see anti-fascists essentially fighting fascists. And I love that about this, because it was something that Lucas had even said in the past, that it was something that he always wanted to explore, but never really did. So I like these stories. Again, Cassian Andor is a story that it's the story that we didn't want, but needed.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about Cassian Andor. I'm just repeating what my boy Kofi said. No one cared about Cassian Andor, right? And then the show came out, and we're like, no, I want more Cassian Andor, because the show is amazing.
It really is a well put together, well thought out show. I agree with that. I think that I totally forgot what we were talking about.
Star Wars.
I'm not kidding. I totally forgot what we were talking about. I was like, I know we're talking about Star Wars, but I don't even remember what it was. And I was like 3 things away, and I read this thing.
Yeah.
Jennifer is not okay. Oh,
yeah. I've also been saying for a while, I'm waiting for Cal Kestis to show up in all of this. He's still the right age to like Cameron Monaghan is still the same age to come in and play Cal Kestis at the age that he's supposed to be in the stories. Yeah. So like, now is the time to bring Cameron Monaghan in as Cal Kestis.
Well, and we definitely need a ginger Jedi.
Yeah, right.
I'm really surprised they haven't announced something like that, because you're right. He is the perfect age. Like, what's his name?
Cameron Monaghan.
Cameron Monaghan. But he's gonna get older.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, now is the time to bring him in. Is like, if they hold out too long to bring Cameron Monaghan in live action, he's gonna be too old to play the character.
Exactly.
Right.
We're gonna have to go find a Ron Weasley and be like, hey, guess what, Harry Potter? You're gonna be a Jedi now. Something, I don't know. Anyway,
let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. Definitely something that I'm super excited for. So, who's red and black and sometimes has metal spider legs? All over the place, scaring children. Star Wars.
Skitter.
It's not pitter patter. It's skitter. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord, a new animated series that picks up Maul's story 1 year after the events of the Clone Wars. We got a tease from Maul himself. IGN caught up with Sam Witwer, the man, the legend himself, who lends his voice and emotional depth to the fan favorite former Sith. Maul comes from a time of magic. Now he's seeing an empire he knew was coming, and the magic and color is being sucked out of the universe. How does he feel about this? This is different from what he expects. And how does he feel that it affects him? What does he want to do about it? And can he? He's not very equipped right now. So this is a guy who's trying to figure out what his destiny is. At this point
That
in
was
Maul's
a pretty
life,
good Sam Witwer.
I know, right?
It was.
I practiced that. At this point in Maul's life, his brother Savage is gone, his mother Talzin is gone, and every strategic alliance he's built during the Clone Wars has crumbled. Add to that, Ahsoka's turning down his plea to help stop Anakin, and by extension, Palpatine, and what you have left is a man stripped of purpose, grasping for something to control. That something, it turns out, will evolve into Crimson Dawn, the criminal empire seen in Solo and Star Wars Outlaws. Witwer also teased that Maul will take on a new apprentice, someone he described as quite something. While details are still under wraps, the trailer shown at Star Wars Celebration hinted at a twisted mentorship that'll likely echo Maul's own dark upbringing under Sidious. Maul Shadow Lord is set to premiere in 2026. So, guys, is Maul the villain we've been looking for, or just another chosen one wannabe?
I like this. Give me more Maul. I think this is one of Filoni's more genius maneuvers, was to bring back Darth Maul somehow, because everybody loved Maul in Phantom Menace, but he died at the end. Spoiler alert. But to find a way to bring him back, and everybody just accepts it. He got cut in half. What? He's still alive? Okay, fine. Awesome. Keep going. Let's go. 3 seasons of him? Good. Let's do this. And I think this is going to be awesome that we're going to get more Maul. More Maul better.
Make mine Maul.
Yeah, we need all the Maul we can get. Again, my argument is Maul and the next character we're going to talk about are the two most well-developed characters in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I still, even though it was redeemed, but I still hold it against the chat for voting for fucking Padme Amidala over Darth Maul.
And you call them your friends.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
It saddens me. All right, let's move on.
From Maul to the grand strategy of Filoni. Collider caught up with Filoni to talk about something fans are even more curious about, his highly anticipated Star Wars feature film. Filoni isn't treating this like a one-off Star Wars story. He's thinking of it more like a grand strategy, playing 4D chess with timelines and characters that span multiple series. Filoni stated, I asked myself these questions. I have general outlines for all these things, general timelines for all these things. I keep moving the pieces on the board for a big strategy. That's the way I've always worked since I started on Clone Wars, and I got to the end of that series finally. Filoni admitted that what's happening in Ahsoka Season 2 could shift things in the movie. The stories are connected, and what happens in one could echo into the other. Filoni is crafting the story with precision, and it will be a Star Wars event designed to bring together years of character arcs and galactic tension. Filming for Season 2 of Ahsoka has begun. Rosaria Dawson, she just posted a picture on her social.
Yeah.
What happened? Okay. I'm like, what the hell? So, Rosaria Dawson posted on her social media a silhouette of her back in the costume. So the question is Filoni's strategy too grand for where Star Wars is heading, or is it the fans' only hope?
I don't think it's too grand. I mean, I think, again, Filoni's big thing is bringing war back to Star Wars, right? And, I mean, he's done that with Andor. He's done that with, I mean, he kind of, to an extent, did it with Ahsoka. But, I mean, Ahsoka Season 1 was more a
precursor to war.
Well, it was a Rebels reunion along with bringing in characters and storylines from the extended universe and
Right.
making them canon, right? So like, the alternate universes and different things like that. So I mean, and he's kind of just like leaning into Shadows of the Force. So I mean, there's a lot of cool things that are coming up, but I mean, we're going to be getting a full blown war. We talked about this last week where we're getting Admiral Akbar fighting against Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I'm all for that. I'm so excited for that. So I'm excited for where he's going to take it. I don't feel like his strategy is too grand. I feel like this is kind of what we've all been kind of hoping for and waiting for when it comes to Star Wars.
I agree. I do think that it's going to be an interesting cap to all of the storylines he's been crafting.
Mhm.
And I would like to see an actual war in Star Wars. That would be amazing. Because we see a lot of, hey, they're on this outer planet, outer rim planet, and it's kind of away from the war, and you're like, what? But it says Star Wars. Star Wars. So I would actually like to see something like that. And I think he'll deliver on it.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe we'll get some, cool Mandalorians kicking some ass.
I just love the idea of Filoni just sitting in a room, just putting pieces together. And this story that he's loved, like he loves the extended universe of Star Wars. That's why he brought in Thrawn, like what is he doing? Like, I can move this here and take this, not just this character, but this storyline and shift it here and put it into the Star Wars universe and craft it from there. I just love the idea of him just like trying to figure this all out in this huge room.
He's Charlie Daying this shit.
Yeah, somewhere.
He's like,
somewhere at Skywalker Ranch, it's this like huge room of all these stories and notepads everywhere. It's just crazy. I just wonder who else he's going to bring in, because like we just mentioned, he loves the extended universe.
Yeah.
What else can he do? Can he find a way to like bring in Mara Jade?
That was who I was just thinking about. Like, I seriously was like, Mara Jade.
He's been talking about finding a way to get Mara Jade into this. So I mean, like, there have been rumors that he's already cast Mara Jade and she's going to show up soon. I'm all for that. I want to see Mara Jade in this universe, and you have I mean, I'm okay. I'm all okay with them changing the storyline and kind of like how Mara and Luke interact. I want it to be at this point because we know that she doesn't survive by the time we get to the sequel trilogy. I want to see something tragic that changes Luke.
Right. Like maybe they get close and then she like sacrifices herself for him.
Well, where I would like to see it go, and this is, something that is kind of off base, but this is like where we go with this, especially this is the last Star Wars story we're talking about tonight. I would like to see when Ben turns into Kylo Ren and he kills all the younglings at the academy.
You're just bloodthirsty.
No, I want to see that if they go into that right there, he kills Mara Jade and that becomes his point.
Oh.
That becomes his turning point, and that's why Luke can't forgive him.
And that's why Luke goes away.
Yeah. That's why Luke is on the Force, is because he's just like, the Jedi need to go away, and I cannot be a Jedi because Ben killed his wife, and he cannot forgive him for it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Take that, Dave Filoni.
There you go.
We know famously Filoni, Dave watches the show, so feel free to take that idea, Dave.
Yeah,
that's why we call him Trapper Wolf. Come on,
we're on a first name basis. Dave,
we're part of the Wolf Pack.
Is this where we insert the howl? Oh,
yeah, also, just throwing it out there. Frank, capture that.
Clip it, Frank.
Yeah, clip that, Frank. Clip it. Okay, I want to see that as a short. That'll redeem me for my for everybody hating me on TikTok.
Oh, because Aquaman.
Because Aquaman.
Did you see the thing that I posted about the Greek.
Mhm.
Yeah, that it was Giannis. I was like, he's Greek.
Oh God. Let's move on to the next story here. We've only got a couple left, so
Marvel's first family set out to ruin Doomsday. Doomsday. For anyone who has been following Marvel's cinematic breadcrumbs, this news won't come as a surprise, and Marvel's new press release makes it crystal clear. Cast members from Marvel Studios next to film's Thunderbolts, which kicks off this summer on May 2nd, and the Fantastic Four First Steps on July 25th, will play key roles in Avengers Doomsday. I'm doing that. 2 weeks ago, we got a fresh trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps. The trailer gave us our first proper look at Julia Gardner's Silver Surfer and Pedro Pascal's stretchy into full Mr. Fantastic mode. We saw more of the family dynamic and a terrifying glimpse of Galactus and some of the city leveling stakes that await. By the way, that was all practical effects. Like they had a miniature set, and they had
him like,
and they had Galactus boots just wandering through the
oh,
city.
that's awesome.
And with Victor Von Doom looming large over the film and the next, it's clear Marvel isn't treating the Fantastic Four as side players. Will Reed find a way to ruin Victor's plan, or will he put his family first?
who says he can't do both?
Who says he can do both?
Reed is a fucking sociopath if you read the fucking comics. But I mean, like,
He is
he kind of is, but he is a family man. Reed does
sort of
care
a
enough
sociopath.
about-
He is a sociopath.
yeah, he does care about his family, and he is willing to destroy entire universes in order to save his family, specifically, you know, his wife and his son. So I mean, you know, we're
And
probably
daughter.
and his daughter, his kids. So I mean, we will get there eventually, but I mean, like, Reed is a sociopath, but also that doesn't mean that he can't do things for good, and that doesn't mean he isn't trying to mess with Victor Von Doom every chance he gets.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I do think he will ruin Victor's plans and probably save his family at the same time. I think that it's one of those things where first he has to know it's Doom. Then he has to save everybody, So it's like, but I'm really excited about it. I loved the trailer. I think that the Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts being the like the main players in Doomsday, I think that's a great idea because we'll all be really familiar with it and want to see more of them immediately, I think, after we watch the movies.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is amazing. And you want like the first family to be like yeah, we totally know what's going on. We had this giant guy come through our city and we had to take care of him. And then you've got the Thunderbolts going, oh my God, we had this guy that like went all like voidy and we had to take care of him. Twinsies. And then they'll, go after Doom.
Right. I mean, and I mean, I don't 100% feel like the Thunderbolts are gonna, like, take care of Sentry. I think like he's just gonna be like, all right, I'm done with you guys, and disappear for a little bit and then come back and wreak more havoc. So I mean, I don't feel like the Thunderbolts are actually gonna beat Sentry. I feel like Sentry's gonna win. And they're gonna like Thanos it, where like, Thanos wins the first movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they're gonna. I think Yelena's actually going to be the one that talks Bob back into being Sentry and like excising the void or putting the void in the back of his brain,
Right.
kind of thing. I think they're going to yellow crayon it. If you're a Buffy fan, you'll know what that means.
You're gonna onslaught it, where it just goes, the void just is trapped in the back of his mind.
Right. Exactly.
Kind of the way that onslaught is just trapped in the back of Charles's brain.
Exactly. But no, I think, I do think that could be it. And they are going to go through similar things. So it does make sense.
Yeah.
In an MCU kind of way.
Yeah. So staying on the topic of the Thunderbolts, Or does anybody have any other thoughts about Fantastic Four before I move us on?
Well, I
They're
was just going to
fantastic.
say, when it comes to Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, I'm just interested on how they're going to put their relationship together, because there's such a history in the comics with Doom and with Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And
Like
with Sue.
how and Sue and Namor too. But how are they going to piece that all together and make it something bigger, you know? I mean, this is going to span, I guess, multiple movies, but that relationship between Doom and Reed and them against each other, I just want to see how that's going to be played out.
No, and I agree with you, because I definitely want to see. Like, Reed ties into so many characters within the MCU or within Marvel in general. So I mean, you know, it took this long to get Reed Richards in universe. I kind of want to see him integrate with everybody right away.
I have a really interesting idea about it, because the first time we see Doom, he may not be our Doom. He
Right.
may be like a different, he may be a variant Doom. And I'm wondering if we don't hear about Reed and Victor's relationship at all. Like, they keep it from everyone. And then when this all, you know, plays out and everything gets smushed together, it has to come out. And so then everybody, with all the memories that they had, the ones that were there in Battle World, they will know that he had been lying to them the whole time, which will cause strife and is a total Reed Richards dick move.
It really is. It really is. If you know Reed Richards and kind of like, he's a devious little fucker. So I mean, that's kind of the way things need to be. I get it. He's a good guy in everybody's eyes, but I mean, Reed is just as nuanced as Charles is. Like, everybody like wants to look at Charles Xavier and think that he's the good guy. Charles is the villain of his story. I'm sorry. It is.
Well, if you think about it, like on the scale, you know, Charles is pretty hardcore, and Reed's kind of that mixture between him and Doctor Strange, because it's very scientific.
Yeah.
You know, they all have a scientific mind.
Yeah.
And
the same thing with Hank Pym. Like, Hank Pym's kind of a monster if you really get into his story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's it. Heck, Beast, Dr. McCoy, he's got a really dark side to him too. So it's
really, yeah.
It really seems like that the people that created the comic books really have not a high opinion of physicians and professors.
I think that's more people down the line, because I think they started off as, like, you know, pure good guys, and then you know, writers wanting to make the characters more nuanced, and like, you know, everybody's not a good guy, everybody's not a bad guy, but you know, like, make them just human, right? Like, a lot of people don't realize Hank Pym is abusive. Like, he used to beat Janet Van Dyne. So, I mean, yeah,
as Giant Man.
Yes, I mean, like, you know, it gets pretty messed up, you know. And speaking of sociopaths, I mean, Charles is kind of a sociopath if you really look at the way that he does.
He really is. And he puts children's lives in danger.
Yeah.
I think we just made a new bracket, like worst good guys.
Oh, that would be next.
I mean, I said it in the most heroic heroes bracket that we did. Wolverine is one bad day away from being a bad guy.
Oh yeah. There are several heroes that are one day away from being a villain.
Yeah. Or like, at least Deadpool makes jokes about it, but I mean, like, Deadpool, depending on the writer, depending on the comic, he'll be a villain in one book, he'll be a good guy in the next, because you know, he's morally ambiguous. So it's kind of like he's
also sexually ambiguous, but
yeah, but he's the guy. He will work for whoever pays him. Again, one of my favorite comic panels is him calling everybody saying, do you need mercenary work? And everybody's like, nope, I don't got anything. Nope, I don't have anything. And the last panel is he calls Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom goes, you do realize he calls Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom says, I don't need anything. I've got everything. He calls a bunch of villains asking if they need mercenary work. And then he calls Tony Stark by accident. And Tony goes, you do know who I am. He goes, oh shit, wrong number, and hangs up. Right. So I mean, like, again, I love that panel just because it shows that he's friends with the Avengers and with the villains. Like, he'll call Doctor Doom and be like, "You need me to kill anybody?"
Yeah.
Oh, no, nobody. Okay, let me call Omega Red. Omega Red, you need me to kill anybody? No.
Yeah.
Magneto, you need me to kill anybody? No, nobody there. Hey, Tony Stark, you need me to? Oh shit, I didn't mean to call Tony Stark. My bad.
Yeah. So do you think that Deadpool would fit into the Thunderbolts?
I think he would. The thing is that Ryan Reynolds has already said that he doesn't feel that Deadpool would fit in an Avengers movie.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, but I think with the team itself, I think that would be an interesting, like, okay, we're gonna take you on a probationary period, and then like the first mission, and it just goes to like crap right from the beginning, and they're like, get out. And
Yeah,
so
it
then
would
that,
have to be a quick scene where he just wrecks everything, and they're just like, go away.
yeah.
But yes, staying on the path. So we were just talking about Reed Richards in the first family ruining Dr. Doomsday. So let's move on to the Thunderbolts coming and ruining Dr. Doomsday as soon as they find Bob, of course. Marvel fans know the drill by now. Never leave your seat until the very last credit rolls. So what can we expect from Thunderbolts, Asterisk? There are apparently 2 post-credit scenes. One pops up midway through the credits, and the other waits until the very, very end. So you'll definitely want to hang around for both. There's a bit of a mystery swirling around exactly what happens in these stingers. One or both of them are among Marvel's biggest and most impactful efforts so far. With the Fantastic Four first steps in Avengers Doomsday on the horizon, fans are hoping Thunderbolts asterisk lays some serious groundwork. So be ready, because this one sounds like it'll be essential viewing for MCU diehards. Thunderbolts asterisk punch their way into theaters on May 2nd, 2025. What do you want to see in a Thunderbolts end credit teaser?
Ooh.
I think we gotta have Doom, right? We've got to have something Doom related. If they're gonna bring him into the MCU fully in 2 movies, we've got to have something about that.
Are we going full predictions? Let's go full predictions.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go full prediction. So, I mean, my prediction on this, I'm kind of behind that. I think that we do go full Doom. I think the first time we see Robert Downey Jr. as Doom is going to be a post-credit scene in Thunderbolts. I know that all the pre-screenings have been just the movie and not the post-credit scenes. They usually wait until the movie is out to do the to do the post-credits. So anytime a pre-screening is out, they usually do just the core movie and then it's credits and that's it. The post-credit scenes are usually added for theatrical release because they don't want to ruin surprises for people, just because those people who are doing the reviews of the movie usually will be like, oh yeah, and there's this big deal that's going to happen, or they're like, he's going to spill it. So Marvel's always been good about not putting post-credit scenes in screeners. So again, nobody knows where it's going. I think that given that they're already filming for Doomsday at this point, it makes sense that probably the first thing they did was film a teaser for Doomsday.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be even so. I think, we're going to get something that Sam is going to show up. I think we're going to get a Captain America thing. If it's not Captain America, it's going to be Falcon. I think it's going to be one of the 2. Because I think at this point they're going to start trying to get an Avengers team together, and Bucky is the key to them being into it, because he's going to want to talk to Bucky about it.
Right. That makes sense, especially given the relationship that Sam and James have. So.
Yeah. So I think that is going to be something that we'll see. I expect us to see, like, Sam or the Falcon, somebody coming to say, hey, dude, we've been trying to get hold of you, like something like that. And, and he's there, they're all just like dusty and dirty and everything. It's like, oh, hey, but I mean, is this a bad time? Like, kind of, that kind of thing. I would love to see something like that.
The other thing is, I was
Go
gonna say, we may not see the Doom mask, or we may not see Downey as Doom in the post credit. You know, like, so we don't necessarily need to see Robert Downey Jr. in the scene, so they don't have to have him there. He might be able to do a voiceover or something on that, but it's going to be like Thanos in the Avengers, where it wasn't the same actor that played Thanos. It was the teaser that he exists. So
Right.
they may have already filmed it without Robert Downey Jr. and had a stand-in with the Doom mask on.
Mhm.
Well, I
Or
was
the
wondering.
back, like a silhouette type thing.
Right, right.
I'm wondering, depending on how things go with Val, we could find out Dr. Doom's like in all this. Like, she knows Doom. She's a government person. If this is another government, she may know people in that government. So she
Mhm.
may have met Victor before, or know our Victor. And so he goes to her and she thinks it's the same guy because she hasn't seen behind the mask. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing I'm kind of hoping for is maybe in the post-credit scene, they retroactively put back in the post-credit scene that was originally meant for Black Panther 2.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they filmed a scene that they, and then Ryan Coogler confirmed it. He filmed a scene where, so there's a random scene in Wakanda Forever where a bunch of soldiers infiltrate Wakanda, right? And nobody knows, like there was never an explanation for why these soldiers just showed up. And Ryan Coogler had an explanation in the post-credit scene that these were soldiers that were they were Latvian soldiers, Latvian mercenaries, and they worked for Doctor Doom the entire time. His plan was to introduce Doctor Doom in Wakanda Forever. But they Kevin Feige was like, we're not ready to do Doom yet, so we're going to pull that out.
Yeah. They just that's when he decided they were going whole ham for Kang.
Right.
And then that kicked him in the balls.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like there was a plan where he was going to introduce Doctor Doom, but he Kevin Feige was like, no, let's pull this scene out just because we don't want to prematurely introduce Doom because he won't be in the series until next phase. And then everything that happened, and they accelerated everything, and they're introducing Doom. So I wonder if they go back and tie that into the rest of the series in a post-credit scene on this,
or like just reimagine it or something. I could see them
like introducing there and just saying, like, this mentioning when we infiltrated Wakanda, it didn't the plan didn't work, and then do something else in regard to Latveria, and we know that that's a Doom reference, and then like maybe like they're speaking to somebody on screen, and then it pans to the screen, and Doom just like kind of peeks his face over, and you see Doom's mask.
It could be something like that, and that it could be Val. That they see, like, it could be that they are invading Wakanda. Bucky has ties to Wakanda. Val sees it, is sending over the Thunderbolts to help out.
Right.
Something like that.
So, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities to tie Doom, but I ultimately feel like the post-credit scene in this is going to tie Doom into all of this.
Yeah. Either that or something's going to happen with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and they're if they do bring Doom in, they're gonna show that he is tied into way more than people think.
I think that is key to show that Doom's been there all along, or he's this bigger threat that we had no idea was there or was coming. But to put a post-credit scene of Doom in Thunderbolts and maybe something in Fantastic Four, that would say a lot moving forward.
Because I feel like that's the Avengers teasers, like at the end of the
exactly.
when you teased Thanos.
Yeah. I think that's great. Gosh, I loved this discussion, and it's the end. We're like done with all this stuff.
I know.
You know what's in our post-credit scene?
What's in our post-credit scene?
We got merch in our post-credit scene, people.
That's right, because we got merch, people.
We got the merch, people, and so can you. We got the gray character shirt just for
Mhm.
you. Come
Mhm.
get some. They're $20, and let us know what size you're looking for. Just DM us at Distance Dirty on Instagram. Let us know what size, how many, and we'll find a way to get it to you. They're $20. Come on, $20. $20. That's like nothing nowadays. You can barely get lunch for $20 or 25 if we got to ship it to you. Come on now. Such a good deal. We'll have them at cons now that we're going back to the cons
That's right.
very quickly. Oh my gosh. So
That's
20,
coming up.
20 if you're local or around us, or 25 if we got to ship it to you. And we also got stickers, bro. You want some stickers? Jen, show us that sticker one more time.
I will. I shall.
Look at that. Plenty of stickers. Look at that.
Ooh.
We got plenty of stickers, and stickers are free. If you want a sticker, we got a sticker for you. Oh, that's not our sticker.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, James, did you? I'm sorry, I just blanked right now. Did you talk about pricing?
Yeah, they're 20, 25. Oh, but speaking of pricing, we also have the what are these called? Drawstring bags?
Yeah.
Drawstring backpacks. So if you want these are $10. Come get some. We got a very limited amount, but we thought it were pretty cool.
If
The
you're
kids
at
love
the
them. I love them.
cons, perfect, perfect extra bag.
There you go. Con bags. That's what we're going to call them. We're going to call them con bags. $10 each. Or if you're going to buy a shirt and a con bag, we'll get you a deal. We'll get you a deal.
That's
There
right.
you go.
I need a beanie with the brim. That'd be fun. Guys, we have new hats on the horizon. We're still trying to finalize everything and whatnot. Plus, it's not free.
Yeah, buy these so we can afford to buy hats.
Exactly. Buy those so we can afford to buy hats. There you go. Buy more drawstring bags so we can get more bags, or I'll talk about it here in a second so that way we can get more merch. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk scheduling here. Now the current schedule, I gotta fix this because it changed again. But Tuesdays, the show you're watching right now, the download from 6:30 to 8:30. We're doing the download. We're talking about all the fun things, all the news, the rumors, and things that we're going through. The show you're watching today. On Thursdays, we do the build from 6 to 8. We talk with fun guests, and I build Lego on stream, and we do all that kind of fun stuff. This week, we're doing all brackets. We've got some brackets to catch up on, like best video game console, and I believe we're still doing best fantasy show. So, I mean, we have a whole bunch of stuff we're going to catch up on. Fridays has changed, and we are now doing Friday night fun time night thing. Jane, what did you call it?
Friday hangout.
Friday hangout. That's right. So this Friday we are playing another round of
James hates that. Hates it. He's shaking his head. No, we can't.
No.
We'll workshop it. Just know Fridays we're gonna do like random stuff and games.
Yeah, this week, guys, we are doing Distance Jeopardy. Next week, I believe we are going either back to a movie event, or we're going to do another movie event, or if we don't have anything planned for that day, we will be playing Jackbox games, which are always fun. So we had a good time last time. We've had a lot of demand to do it again, so we will be doing that back. Friday night kickback.
That's kind of cool.
Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back on the game streams. I'm doing them Saturday mornings now. So I was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows again. Jen joined me on Saturday's stream, and we just
for
talked
5 hours, and then I had to
Holy cow!
Yeah, we played a whole bunch of video games on.
He gets sucked in.
It's a lot of Saturday morning cereal.
Yeah, I wish I was eating cereal. But it was a whole bunch of fun. So guys, join us on Saturdays, and we do the game streams. And if you guys have a request for a game that you want me to play, have at it, as long as it's on console, because I play through console. So we'll do that. I have a couple games lined up to play, but if you have an idea of a game that you think I should play, again, let me know, guys, and I will get that kind of tied into the schedule and everything. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
how about Friday fun? How about Friday Fun Day?
Friday Fun Day, James. What do you think? That's like Funko Fun Days.
Oh yeah, that is kind of like that. Never mind.
We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it.
That means James is going to name it.
Yeah, let's. I don't know. Jen, give us your pluggables. What are your pluggables, please?
Hi, I am Jen, aka Frey Girl, and I have my own YouTube channel called Frey Girl, so it's easy to remember. And I and Shadu do a show called Classified on that channel. We take your favorite fandoms and we classify them into Dungeons and Dragons classes. We also have a couple of sister shows. One is Journals of the Classes, and the next one we're going to do is Journals of the Races, or Journals of the Ancients, and it's all the different races in Dungeons and Dragons. So to go along with Classified. So check us out there. I'm on Distance Nerding right now, and I tend to pop up just randomly other places on Distance Nerding. I'm also on Kyber Cave occasionally, and yeah, that's me. So all the socials, I'm Frey Girl, Frey Comics. So I'll see you.
All right. Sandra, give us all your pluggables.
Oh, fuck. Okay, wow. So you guys can reach. I wasn't expecting it. You guys can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. And again, you guys, please go subscribe to us on YouTube so you can enter the raffle to win this. But trying to push it as much as you can. So share, like, and subscribe so we can raffle off this really cool print that we made, customized, and you get a free set of D&D dice. So, nice. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, John, you got anything you need to plug? Maybe for the kids or Sat Geeks?
Oh yeah, if you want to talk about Sat Geeks, Big Day of Giving is coming up, so go to, we should put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. bigdayofgiving.org/donate/Sat Geeks. Go ahead and throw some money their way. I'm going to copy it and put it in the chat. And May 1st is Big Day of Giving. Y'all make it happen.
All right. Well, ladies.
No, Thursday.
Yes.
Something like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to support the channel, the best way to do that is to head over to distancenerding.com. Go all the way up to the top right there. Hit that big blue button that says buy us a taco. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Join the taco party. You can join the taco party. That's right. Join the taco party is the best way to support the show. This makes it so we can get, you want hats? This is how we get hats. You want new merch? This is how we get new merch. You want us to I don't know, have better prizes and do more shows and stuff? Yeah, right there. This is how you do it, guys. Support Distance Nerding. Head over to distancenerding.com, and that is the best way to do it. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to support us, or if you would like to reach out to us on all the social media places, if it exists, we are there. I'm sorry, I'm skipping James's line.
Have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on, and connect with us.
On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's not X. It'll never be X. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and handles. The beard, Jamez's glasses, judging you for not buying all the leftover shirts that we have left. And of course, everything Shadu would do for money because he's not here giving us his weird ASMR while trying to give everybody a 4-penny opera.
We need to change our OnlyFans. I don't know how much this is working.
He's like, I don't like the content on the OnlyFans. Of course, if you would like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the sociopath that is Daddy Pascal as
Reed Richards.
As Reed Richards.
He's definitely not going to be Joel.
Definitely not at this point. Then you can send us an email at distancenerding@aol.com and we will read it live on air. Sounds like James had a joke there.
I did, but it's gone.
He wasn't expecting me to do it so quickly.
No, he wasn't.
Then why'd you pause? I was just gonna. I had OnlyFans ideas. That's all it is. You know.
What ideas do you have?
Oh my god.
I mean, we could show off your feet.
Not my
We
feet.
haven't-
Nobody wants to see that. That's disgusting.
Come on, you used to jump out of planes.
Yeah.
I'm sure your feet are interesting.
No, not interesting in a good way. Like, want to see my calluses? Let's go.
Interesting. See, that's a tease. We call that a stinger. That's good.
Jesus.
All right, everybody. Thanks, and keep nerding together.
Together.
One last thing. Bruce, go to sleep.
That's right, Bruce. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, Bruce.
He's yelling banana from his room right now.
Banana. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, boy.
That
Utini.
is yelling Utini.
Hold on, just for you, buddy. There you go. All right, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for the dance party. Let's get this going. That's so adorable. Look at this. Everybody ready?
You have nothing.
Distance nerding.
Subscribe, 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 subscribe.
Subscribe. We'll see everybody on Thursday.